Hey, it's been a while since we've updated everyone with our latest backstory research and whatnot, but we have been waiting for Black Ops, just like the rest of the world, to further research zombies and the backstory. So we've started a new group called the 935 Coalition, which will dive back into researching zombies. We are kicking things off in a big way, and for right now, I just want you guys to focus on the guy who's getting hit and how he's tied up and kind of hunched over. And I'm going to show you an image of him later that can be seen when teleporting in Ares.
A fucking thing.
So remember him hunched over, what he looks like. And I'll show you the image that's pulled from the teleporter. I pulled it from the PC version of the game, so it's a clearer image. Now, the guy who's cutting his throat, remember the way he looks as well, because he can be seen in the teleporter in Ares. So now I'm going to show you what it's like to teleport and what I'm talking about as far as image flashing up on the screen and whatnot. So when you go into the teleporter, like I'm doing here, you got all these images flashing at your screen, and then you're done teleporting. Well, now we're going to look at the images that are pulled from the PC version of the game. So right off the bat, you notice the guy hunched over on the top row, the third image over. That's the guy from the campaign. On the second row, the very first image, it looks like an image from Call of Duty World at War campaign. Now on the bottom, you see two images that are kind of familiar as well. You see the trees, which I believe to be from Verrucht, and you see the maggots, which I believe to be from Kino. Everybody remembers the parachute, the maggots crawling around. So basically, what I came up with quite a while ago was that through the teleporters, they're showing us images of the past, and later on I'm going to show you images of the future that are also in the teleporter as well. But here, the second set of images that are yellow, which I believe the images in yellow that I'm going to show you are representing the past, and the images coming up in blue kind of represent the future. So here you've got the guy that was going to cut your throat, but your buddy saved you. You've got the guy hunched over again. So the images slightly changed, but they're slightly the same. You still got the trees and you got the maggots. It's just another set of images that you'll see in the teleporter. So there's two groups that are yellow, and now I'm going to go ahead and show you a video clip of the maggots to tie that into Kino Numa. Now we're going to take a look at the future images, which obviously in the bottom right, it rings a bell now that you've played Black Ops. You're like, oh, there's that new zombie type that crawls on the ground with all fours and crawls on the walls. We had predicted quite a while ago that there was likely a new zombie type that we'd be facing, and sure enough, Kino Toten brings that to us. You also see a lighthouse, which we believe to be a future level that we'll be playing eventually. So now we're going to tie everything into time travel and that theory that we came up with long ago.
Entry 741021! Perhaps this station will hold the key to the real goals of Group 935. I still do not trust my unconventional allies, but they are of great use to me. But I digress. Who would have thought the MDT was capable of time travel? How many stations does this group have? Where did that little girl disappear to? Only time will tell what new questions await us in this theater of the damned.
So that intro right there is pretty key, and that's the intro to Kino Toten, the latest map in Zombies. And it basically tells you several things. It tells you that the teleporter is, in fact, what we had predicted a while ago, a time travel device. So we know that Zombies is what time it's being taken place in and what time they're in can be now manipulated and added into the backstory. Of course, we don't know exactly how that will tie in until we do more research. What I really like about this intro into Kino Toten is the fact that it's Richtofen, and he's talking about some key things. He brings up some really good questions. He brings up how many stations does this group have, which leads you to believe, obviously, this zombie story is going to continue, and it's going to be based around going to these different stations that Group 935 is doing, and what 935 is all about. He wants to know what the real goals of Group 935 are. He obviously isn't necessarily a part of Group 935 now, where a lot of us had kind of predicted that he was involved on a bigger level. So it's kind of interesting, and who knows, what the twist might be there. But I don't even want to try to wrap my brain around that yet. And he also poses the question, where did the little girl disappear to? So we're obviously going to be going on this whirlwind ride that Treyarch is taking us on, and we can't wait to see future maps. Of course, you're looking at some of the billboard images now. It had been predicted that the lighthouse is seen in the teleporter, and the kind of like the future images, like I mentioned, there's the yellow images and the blue images, and the blue images kind of look like they represent the future more than they represented the past, where the yellow images and the teleporter kind of represent more of the past. So there's the lighthouse. That's likely a new map. On the billboards, you see the Eiffel Tower, you see the lighthouse. So those are likely 2 more maps. You also see Kino der Toten with the sheet over the zombie, which is likely cinema. So you wrap your brain around that, and they're giving us small clues and a little image of what is to come. So we can't wait to research it more, and we can't wait for DLC. So we look forward to working with you guys on the 935 Coalition and, bringing answers out there. We don't have all the correct answers, but we do the best we can with the group that we have, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So join us on WeTheGamers.com. Once again, it's the 935 Coalition. Thanks, and we look forward to releasing some more videos.
WeTheGamers.com, where co-op is king.